Imagine stepping into the spotlight of the NBA with millions watching your every move, not just because you're talented, but because greatness is expected of you, not from the media, not from fans, but from your own bloodline. This is the story of Dylan Harper, a rising star destined to become a household name, not just for what he does on the court, but for where he comes from. His father? A five-time NBA champion who battled alongside legends like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. His mother, a fierce and scrappy Division I basketball player turned high school coach who raised and trained her sons with the discipline of a drill sergeant and the warmth of a mother. And Dylan? He's about to make history in the 2025 NBA draft. But behind the highlights, fame, and trophies lies a deeper, more gripping story, one filled with triumph, sacrifice, personal battles, and a family's unbreakable bond with the game of basketball. This isn't just another sports biography. This is about a boy shaped by pressure, molded by legacy, and driven by a fire that only family can ignite. So who are the people behind Dylan Harper's unstoppable rise? What lessons did his parents teach him that no coach ever could? And what makes this family of ballers one of the most fascinating dynasties in modern sports? Stay with us as we peel back the layers and reveal the 20 most shocking, powerful, and emotional truths behind the name Dylan Harper. Basketball runs in Dylan Harper's blood. Before he ever picked up a basketball, Dylan Harper was already living in the echo of sneakers squeaking on hardwood and the roar of championship arenas. From the outside, it might look like luck or timing, but from within the Harper family, it's clear basketball isn't just a game, it's in their DNA. Dylan didn't grow up learning basketball from YouTube or watching clips on TV. He was raised in a home where the game was lived. His father, Ron Harper Sr., played beside some of the greatest to ever touch the court. His mother, Maria Harper, wasn't just a supportive parent cheering from the sidelines, she was his first coach, sharpening his skills from the moment he could dribble. That's what sets Dylan apart from the crowd. While others dream of basketball stardom, Dylan was born into it. Every conversation at the dinner table, every car ride after school, every weekend tournament, it all revolved around one thing: the game. What makes this even more powerful is the balance between both parents' influences. Ron Sr. brought the professional insight, championship mindset, and behind-the-scenes stories of legends. Maria brought the fire, the discipline, and the day-to-day grind of building a player from scratch. She wasn't just raising a son, she was developing an athlete. By the time Dylan reached high school, he wasn't just good, he was refined, emotionally resilient, and mentally equipped in ways few young athletes are. His growth wasn't accidental. It was engineered by a family whose blood runs red and basketball orange. This isn't just a tale of talent, it's a generational formula that created one of the most promising players of the decade. Dylan Harper set to join the 2025 NBA Draft. June 25th, 2025, mark that date, because that's the moment the Harper legacy prepares to evolve. Dylan Harper isn't just entering the NBA Draft, he's entering the next chapter of a basketball dynasty. While thousands of aspiring athletes dream of hearing their name called, Dylan steps onto the stage with the weight of expectation and the fire to exceed it. Scouts have been buzzing about Dylan's name for years. He's not just a standout at Rutgers University, he's the heartbeat of the Scarlet Knights. His court vision, passing IQ, and explosive scoring ability have turned heads across the country. ESPN projects him as the likely number 2 overall pick, and with each game he plays, that prediction seems less like speculation and more like prophecy. But there's more to this story than rankings. The pressure Dylan faces isn't from social media hype, it's from a last name that means something. His dad has 5 NBA rings. His older brother is already in the league. Everyone expects greatness. The question is, will he rise to it or be crushed by it? Spoiler alert, Dylan isn't running from the spotlight, he's charging toward it. At pre-draft interviews, his maturity stands out. He doesn't just speak like a future player, he speaks like a future leader. He credits his journey to his family, his relentless work ethic, and the lessons forged in backyard practices with his mom, not fancy gyms or trainers. When that draft call comes, it won't just signal the start of a new career, it will confirm what those close to him have always known. Dylan Harper was built for this, and the NBA isn't ready for what's coming. Ron Harper Sr. was a 5-time NBA champion. Before Dylan Harper was even born, his father had already conquered the basketball world. Not once, not twice, but 5 times. Ron Harper Sr. is one of those rare athletes who doesn't just play in the NBA, he leaves a mark on the NBA. And for Dylan, that legacy is more than a story. It's the foundation of his own journey. Let's rewind to the mid-1990s. The Chicago Bulls were rewriting basketball history. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and among them, a quiet, disciplined, two-way guard named Ron Harper, a man whose unselfish play and defensive brilliance helped power the Bulls to 3 straight NBA titles from 1996 to 1998. But Ron wasn't done there. After Chicago, he joined forces with another icon, Kobe Bryant, under the command of Phil Jackson once again, this time with the Los Angeles Lakers. From 1999 to 2001, Ron became a veteran leader on a team packed with raw talent. The result? 2 more championship rings in 2000 and 2001, making him a 5-time NBA champion. That's the man Dylan grew up watching, not just a player, but a champion among legends. While others have fathers with 9-to-5 jobs, Dylan's dad has stories about defending Jordan in practice and mentoring a young Kobe in the locker room. And yet, Ron Sr. never let the spotlight blind his values. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud. He was clutch, consistent, and committed, the type of player every great team needs, but not every fan remembers. That humility, that hunger, he passed it down to Dylan, not through words, but through example. Behind every highlight Dylan creates today is the shadow of a champion who showed him how to win and how to carry it with class. Ron Harper's NBA career spanned over a decade. When most athletes dream of making it to the NBA, they're lucky if they last 5 years. Injuries, burnout, the endless competition, the league doesn't show mercy. But Ron Harper Sr., he didn't just survive the NBA, he thrived in it for over 15 seasons, from 1986 to 2001, making him one of the few players to bridge 2 legendary eras. Ron's journey began with the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he quickly made a name for himself as a high-flying scorer with defensive grit. Early in his career, he was averaging over 20 points per game, torching defenders with explosive drives and transition finishes. But then, a knee injury. For most players, that's the beginning of the end. But for Ron, it was the start of a transformation. After his stint with the Cavs, he moved to the LA Clippers, and where he reinvented himself. No longer just a scorer, he became a floor general, a cerebral player who used his basketball IQ to orchestrate plays and shut down opponents. That reinvention caught the eye of none other than Phil Jackson, who brought him to the Chicago Bulls during the dynasty years. From there, the rest is championship history. He morphed into the glue guy, the silent force who made teams better simply by being on the floor. He didn't need 30-point games, he needed to make the play that mattered. Ron's evolution from young scorer to seasoned veteran is a rare tale of resilience and adaptability. He wasn't just chasing stats, he was chasing greatness, no matter the role. And over the course of more than a decade, he found it again and again.
Maria Harper was a Division I college basketball player. While Ron Harper Sr. battled giants on the NBA hardwood, Maria Harper was building her own legacy, one forged in grit, sacrifice, and a love for basketball that began long before her children ever touched a ball. She wasn't just a player, she was a Division I athlete, competing at the highest level of college basketball for the University of New Orleans from 1993 to 1996. But Maria's story isn't one of overnight fame. It's one of relentless passion. It all began in the 5th grade, when she first started playing after school. No scouts, no spotlight, just a young girl falling in love with the sound of the ball bouncing off the pavement. From there, she played her way through high school, catching the attention of college recruiters with her toughness and hustle, eventually earning a full scholarship. At New Orleans, Maria made her name for herself not by being the top scorer, but by doing everything else. Locking down defenders, forcing turnovers, pushing the tempo, and getting her teammates involved. In her own words, she was super scrappy. She didn't need the ball to make an impact. She created chaos, and from that chaos came opportunity. She once said, "I wasn't a knockdown shooter, but I created offense through defense." That mindset, to dig deep, to fight for every inch, to value team over ego, became the blueprint she later used to coach her sons. Maria didn't just play the game, she understood it in its purest form. Her time as a Division I athlete wasn't just a personal triumph. It laid the groundwork for a family legacy built on discipline, energy, and heart. In the Harper household, greatness wasn't limited to the men. Maria brought her own fire to the court, and it never stopped burning. Maria's love for basketball started in 5th grade. Before the Harper name became synonymous with basketball royalty, there was a little girl in grade school who found magic in a worn-out ball and a cracked playground hoop. That girl was Maria Harper, and it was in the 5th grade that her love for basketball took root. Not under the glare of arena lights, but in the quiet corners of after-school courts where dreams are born without anyone noticing. For Maria, it wasn't about glory. It was about freedom. When she stepped onto the court, she felt something she couldn't explain. A pulse in her veins, a rhythm in her step. She wasn't just playing. She was becoming something more than just a kid in sneakers. Basketball gave her direction, focus, and most importantly, purpose. She continued to grind through middle school and high school, outworking everyone around her. While others were chasing popularity or partying, Maria was hitting the gym, alone, driven, obsessed. She had no NBA father to guide her, no spotlight to ease the way. It was just grit and desire, pure and raw. That hunger caught the attention of scouts, and eventually the University of New Orleans came calling. But even then, Maria wasn't chasing fame. She simply couldn't stop loving the game. It was more than a sport. It was therapy, discipline, and identity all at once. She didn't know it yet, but this early devotion would one day define her role as a mother, mentor, and coach. When she later coached Dylan, that same 5th grade spark still burned in her, passed down through every drill, every timeout, every piece of hard-earned advice. Maria Harper didn't just fall in love with basketball, she committed to it for life. And that commitment changed not only her world, but her son's future.
Maria describes herself as a scrappy player. When Maria Harper talks about her playing days, she doesn't speak in flashy highlights or triple doubles. She uses one word, scrappy. In the world of basketball, that word means everything. It's not about the scoreboard, it's about heart, hustle, and the willingness to dive on the floor when no one else will. Maria wasn't the tallest, she wasn't the fastest, and she openly admits she wasn't a knockdown shooter, but what she lacked in stats, she made up for with relentless effort. She defended with purpose, chased every loose ball, and played like every possession could win or lose the game. In her own words, "I defended the hell out of the ball." That's the kind of player coaches dream about, someone who doesn't need attention but makes the whole team better. She wasn't looking to be the star, she was trying to make the stars shine brighter. That mindset became the foundation of her coaching philosophy, the very principle she would later instill in Dylan. In college at the University of New Orleans, Maria played Division I basketball like it was a street fight, intense, unglamorous, and all about grit. And when the final buzzer sounded, it wasn't her point total that left a mark. It was the bruises, the steals, and the look in her opponent's eyes. They knew they had gone through war with her. That scrappiness became her superpower. It wasn't just how she played, it was who she was. She carried that fire into motherhood, into coaching, and into every moment she spent raising her sons on and off the court. Maria didn't need to be flashy. She was ferocious, and that raw, fearless spirit, it lives on in Dylan Harper today. Ron and Maria Harper were married for 7 years. Behind every great athlete lies a personal story the world rarely sees, a private life filled with love, challenges, and sometimes heartbreak. For Ron and Maria Harper, their journey wasn't just about basketball. It was about building a family, raising children, and navigating the complexities of fame, distance, and the human heart. They met in 1998 at a time when Ron was already an NBA veteran with championship rings and a household name. Maria, fresh off her college basketball career, was no stranger to the game herself. Their connection was almost inevitable, two basketball minds drawn together not by fame, but by a shared love of the sport and a deep mutual respect. They married on New Year's Eve in 2005, a symbolic fresh start. That spring, they welcomed Dylan into the world. Their family was growing fast. Ron Jr., their first son born in 2000, had already arrived, and Mia, their youngest, would be born in 2010. But like many stories behind closed doors, everything wasn't perfect. The marriage lasted 7 years, ending in 2012, And though the headlines might have been quiet, the struggle was very real. Maria later described those years as very tough, emphasizing that their children's lives weren't fairy tales, even though people on the outside might assume otherwise. It's in those quiet moments, raising 3 kids, managing separation, holding the family together, where Maria's strength truly showed. She wasn't just a mother, she was a rock, a leader, a protector. The Harper marriage may not have lasted forever, but its impact did. From that union came not just children, but future stars molded by love, resilience, and the experience of 2 parents who gave everything they could in their own way.
Maria Harper was Dylan's first coach. Behind every great player is a coach who believed in them first, someone who saw potential when no one else did. For Dylan Harper, that person was his mother, Maria Harper. From his earliest dribbles in elementary school to the intense pressure of high school varsity basketball, Maria wasn't just a parent watching from the sidelines. She was his first coach, mentor, and toughest critic. Imagine learning basketball fundamentals not from a distant trainer or a flashy camp, but from the woman who knows you best, who knows your strengths, your doubts, and your fears. Maria crafted Dylan's foundation with patience and precision. She drilled the basics, instilled discipline, and demanded excellence, all while balancing the roles of mother and coach. In interviews, Dylan often speaks about his mom with admiration and gratitude. He calls her everything to me, explaining how she's been there through every twist and turn, from the jump. That phrase says it all. Maria wasn't a fleeting figure in Dylan's basketball life. She was the constant. Her nearly 30 years of coaching experience gave her the tools to nurture not just Dylan's skill, but his mental toughness. She pushed him to see beyond flashy plays and focus on grit, resilience, and team spirit. Maria's coaching style combined motherly support with no-nonsense intensity, striking the perfect balance to prepare Dylan for the challenges ahead. When the stakes grew higher, when doubts crept in, Maria was the voice that kept Dylan grounded. Her lessons were more than just about basketball. They were lessons about life, perseverance, and the importance of family. In the story of Dylan Harper's rise, Maria isn't just a footnote. She's a key chapter, the woman who shaped a star before the world even knew his name. Dylan praises his mom's role in his success. Dylan's journey to becoming a basketball star is deeply intertwined with his mother Maria's unwavering support and guidance. He often refers to her as not just his first coach, but the foundation of his entire basketball career. In interviews, Dylan describes Maria as everything to me, emphasizing how she was there from the jump, helping him through every challenge and victory. Maria's influence extended beyond basic skills. She instilled values of hard work, discipline, and resilience. Dylan recalls how she was his constant supporter, standing by him during highs and lows. Whether it was refining his shooting technique or pushing him to stay mentally strong, Maria's coaching style blended tough love with a mother's care. Dylan also highlights how Maria's nearly 30 years of coaching experience gave her unique insights into developing not only a player's physical skills, but their mental toughness. Her mentorship was essential during critical moments, especially when Dylan faced doubts or setbacks. Her role as a provider and protector shaped Dylan's confidence and character. This deep bond between mother and son has been a driving force behind his success, making Dylan's rise not just a story of talent, but one of family love and sacrifice. Maria is a basketball coach with almost 30 years of experience. Maria's passion for basketball did not end when her college career finished. Instead, she transitioned seamlessly into coaching, dedicating nearly 30 decades to shaping young athletes. Her journey began as an assistant coach in Chicago before becoming the head coach of the girls' varsity team at DePaul Catholic High School in Wayne, New Jersey. Her coaching style earned respect for combining strict professionalism with a nurturing approach. She emphasizes fundamentals, discipline, and team unity, reflecting the lessons she learned as a player. After stepping away briefly to focus on her son's basketball careers, she returned as an assistant coach for the boys' basketball team at Don Bosco Prep in Ramsey, New Jersey, where both of her sons played.
Teammates and fellow coaches admire her no-nonsense attitude balanced with motherly care. This unique blend of toughness and empathy allows her to command respect while providing emotional support. Maria's decades of experience have helped her become not just a coach, but a mentor and role model.
She coached at DePaul Catholic and Don Bosco Prep. Maria Harper's coaching resume includes 2 key stops that showcase her commitment and impact. At DePaul Catholic High School, she led the girls' varsity basketball team with a focus on developing young talent and instilling discipline. Her success there caught the attention of many in the New Jersey basketball community. Later, Maria took on the role of assistant coach for the boys' basketball team at Don Bosco Prep in Ramsey, New Jersey. This was a particularly meaningful position as both her sons, Ron Jr. and Dylan, played for the team. Her coaching was instrumental in their growth, providing guidance both on and off the court. Maria's ability to manage coaching roles in different environments, girls' varsity and boys' varsity, shows her versatility and passion. Her work at Don Bosco Prep especially highlighted her unique capacity to blend professionalism with a personal touch, influencing a generation of players. Maria brings both discipline and motherly warmth. Maria's coaching philosophy isn't just about X's and O's, it's about building character. Players and colleagues alike speak of her as a coach who is strict, nonsense, and focused on performance, but who also brings a motherly warmth that creates a supportive environment. This balance is rare in competitive sports. Maria knows how to push players to their limits while making them feel valued and cared for. Don Bosco Prep coach Kevin DeVirio praised her ability to command respect and provide emotional support, something he admits he himself cannot offer. This unique combination of toughness and empathy has made Maria an invaluable asset to every team she's coached, creating not only skilled athletes, but confident, grounded young adults. Dylan credits his dad for his strong work ethic. From the earliest days of Dylan's basketball journey, his father Ron Harper Sr. played a critical role in teaching him the value of hard work. Dylan has shared that his dad ingrained in him an understanding of the relentless effort it takes to succeed in the NBA. Ron Sr. didn't just teach by words, he shared stories of legendary players like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, emphasizing their intense work ethic and daily habits. Dylan absorbed these lessons, realizing that talent alone is never enough. His father's experience as a seasoned professional gave Dylan an inside look into what it truly takes to make it: long hours, sacrifices, and unwavering commitment. This legacy of hard work continues to motivate Dylan as he prepares for his own NBA career. Dylan wants to challenge his dad one-on-one. Despite the vast age and experience gap, Dylan jokes about wanting to face his dad in a one-on-one basketball game. When asked which NBA player he'd love to go up against, Dylan humorously said, "My dad," adding that his dad talks a lot and he's getting tired of it. This playful challenge highlights the strong bond and friendly rivalry between father and son. It also reveals Dylan's confidence and competitive spirit. Facing an NBA legend like Ron Harper Sr. is no small feat, yet Dylan embraces the challenge, a testament to his courage and belief in his own abilities. This dynamic adds a human element to the family's basketball story, showing that even with great legacies, the game remains about fun, challenge, and respect. Ron predicted Dylan's talent at age 5. Ron Harper Sr. recognized his son's basketball potential incredibly early, at just 5 years old. He told people that Dylan reminded him of himself, showing natural instincts and enthusiasm for the game. Growing up as the youngest of 5 boys, Ron had watched his siblings practice and knew what it took to succeed. Seeing Dylan try to imitate his brothers on the court made Ron confident that his son had something special. This early prediction wasn't just fatherly pride, it was based on keen observation of Dylan's natural ability and competitive drive, qualities that have since blossomed into a promising professional career.
Dylan's older brother, Ron Harper Jr., plays in the NBA. The Harper family's basketball legacy doesn't end with Dylan. His older brother, Ron Harper Jr., is also an NBA player, currently with the Detroit Pistons. This makes the family one of the rare dynasties with multiple siblings competing at the highest level. Ron Jr.'s journey has paved the way and set a standard for Dylan to follow.
The brothers share not only genetics, but also experiences, training routines, and a competitive yet supportive relationship that pushes them both to improve. Having two NBA players in the family speaks volumes about the Harper household's dedication, coaching, and passion for basketball. The Harper family values grit over glamour. Despite the fame and championships, the Harper story is not one of fairy tales or easy success. Maria Harper has openly discussed how those years, especially after her divorce from Ron Sr., were very tough. Their children's lives were filled with challenges, sacrifices, and hard work, far from the glamorous image people might assume. The family's focus has always been on grit, perseverance, and staying grounded. This reality check adds depth and humanity to Dylan's rise, reminding fans that behind the highlights are real struggles and resilience. Coaching helped Maria stay connected to basketball. After her playing days, Maria's love for basketball led her to coaching as a way to stay connected to the sport she adored. Coaching was the natural progression for her, a way to channel her passion, knowledge, and competitive spirit into shaping future generations. Her transition to coaching also allowed her to balance her family responsibilities, staying close to her son's basketball journeys while continuing her own career. Her decades-long coaching tenure reflects her dedication and the central role basketball plays in her life. NBA draft means everything to the Harper family. For Dylan Harper and his family, the upcoming 2025 NBA draft isn't just a career milestone. It's a culmination of years of sacrifice, love, and unwavering support. Dylan has expressed how much the draft means not only to him, but to his parents, brother, grandparents, and everyone who has stood by him. It represents the next step in fulfilling the family legacy and proving that all the hard work was worth it. Through highs and lows, the Harper family has remained united, making the draft a shared victory, a moment to celebrate their collective journey.